Welcome back to my channel. That noise you hear in the background, that's my fan. It's really hot in this area. I'm here in my confessionals room and I'm about to give you a bedtime story. Actually, it's going to be part one of the Cheating Husband series. So, um, I want to welcome you all. I want to welcome you. I have my cat here and she's not being a very good girl right now. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. Those of you who have seen my channel before, who have come across my channel, that has subscribed. The ones who have not subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. It costs you $0. Hit that like button, comment. This right here is my cheating husband checklist. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4 things, maybe, I don't know. Right now, I'm just going to read, the list to you, talk about a couple of things, and it's gonna go on from there. So, right now I have 28 things on this list that happened when our marriage started to decline. Uh, so I'm going to read that off, and I'm not going to go into much detail about what's on here right now. But like I said, I'm just going to, read this off to you so that you'll know what's going to go on in this series. So, number one is how I found out. That was through Optimum. I had that 3 bundle deal. You get the landline and internet service. Landline, internet, and was it something else? I don't know. It was the bundle. You all know what I'm talking about. I got that. And that's how I found out. Number two is when it hit home, I was at work. And I will never forget it. It was 6 o'clock in the evening, and I was at work. And I had 4 more hours to do. When it hit home, meaning that when I realized, I wouldn't even say realized, when I accepted, I wouldn't even say that either. It's kind of hard to explain, but when it hit home, I'm going to leave it at that. When it hit home, like when I believed myself, that this was going on, I was at work. And then, like I said, it was like 6 p.m. and I had 4 more hours to go. When I tell you I wanted to leave there so bad, I wanted to leave there so bad and do bodily harm. The person I was back then, this was over 10 years ago. The person I was back then is not the person that I am now. The person I am now, I'm very, very proud of. I hope you can hear me. The third thing, and this is not in order, by the way, this is not in order. It's not going to go in order because I don't remember everything in exact order, but you're going to get the full detail of all of it. Another one of the things, when he ejaculated on me, oh, he did that because when I found out that he was cheating on me with this female, I stopped having sex with him. And when I tell you that that was one of the best things that I have ever decided to do, you'll know why later. But oh my God, I was spared. I was saved. I'm telling you. There was an incident in the laundromat. Oh, that day I could have gotten arrested. I could have gotten arrested. When I tell you the laundromat, okay, so we lived in the Bronx. And those of you who know that it's a certain area in the Bronx where they have all these steps. You know, it was in the Joker movie with Jaquan Phoenix. And he was, you know, dancing down those steps. That's just one set of steps. There's more. There's, I think, two, three, or four. I don't know, maybe five more sets of steps. Well, there's steps like that, and you know, from my building, you had to go down the steps, and um, maybe 4 blocks to the laundromat. That day, he went to go wash some clothes, and because I couldn't get the shopping cart up and down those stairs. So he washed the clothes for the family, for the both of us. Like I said, I couldn't get the cart up and down the stairs. That was just no, no. But anyway, that's the weight he pulled in the marriage. It was agreed upon. So um, this was after I was on the phone 3-way with her, my sister, and me because she didn't want to talk to me. After I found out, after how I found out, excuse me, she didn't want to talk to me. She spoke to my sister, but she didn't want to talk to me. But when I wanted to know things, I told my sister to call her, and I was on the other end, and I listened to everything. I gave my sister some questions to ask. And then my sister just started asking questions like, I mean, you know, she's a female, so, you know, she's going to ask the questions. But anyway, when I found out something, I blacked out. When I tell you I walked down those steps, which were 90 steps, with a knife in my hand, that long, not including the blade, it was a butcher knife. I didn't hide it, I didn't conceal it. I had tunnel vision. I couldn't see nothing but what was in front of me. I couldn't hear anything. I had the knife in my hand. I was going to cut his throat. I was going to cut his throat. Because I had done so much for him. Where every other woman that he had dealt with just had their hands out. What can you do for me? And he could never understand that. I would tell him, I was like, don't you know that these other females that you're dealing with, they're only looking for what they can get from you? And his response was, what? I don't have nothing. I don't have no money. I said, you don't have to have a lot of money. Whatever money you have, they will want some of it. Trust me. He just couldn't understand that. Or he refused to understand. I don't know. You know, sometimes the way men think, you know, and I say men are from Mars and women are from Mars and men are from Venus. Women are from Venus and men are from Mars. You remember that? I'm showing my age. But yeah, when that came out. But anyway, it's like men are from another planet when it comes to certain things. And it's just no getting through. It's no getting through. But anyway, I had the knife. All I remember is going through the doors of the laundromat and I saw him. And I know there were people in the laundromat, but that was after the fact that I looked around and, you know, I snapped out of it. And thank God for that lady. It was a Puerto Rican lady. Thank God for her, because if it wasn't for her, dude would not be on this earth. I would have taken his life. And that's a fact. I got to the laundromat and I had him up against the dryers with the knife to his throat. And the only thing that I could see myself doing is actually doing that. I saw myself doing this. So as I'm doing like this, the next thing for me, because I've been at this point before, and the next thing for me to do is to actually do it. So in my mind's eye, when I did this and I held up my actual hand to do it, this lady touched me. She touched my hand, my arm. She grabbed my wrist, and she was like, "No, mommy." But it was like I couldn't hear her at first, and she just had my wrist, and she was like, "No, mommy," and it was like an echo. It was like she was far away, and the more she spoke, the clearer I heard her. She's like, "No, mommy, no, it's not worth it, mommy, it's not worth it. Please, mommy, no, no." And I snapped out of it, and I looked around, and everybody, it was just me and him against the dryers. You know, the dryers are usually in the back and the washers in the front. Everybody had scattered. So I had the blade to his neck, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I just left out the laundromat. I left. I left. That was one story. Oh, this is my little 0 calorie summer spritzer. I'll tell you how to do this. It's so good. It's the peach syrup, the no calorie peach syrup, the skinny girl peach syrup, and lemon lime seltzer water, and lemon juice and lime juice. And it's 0 calories. So you females, or you males out there that is trying to beat the battle of the bulge, trying to watch what you eat and drink, and trying to be healthy, getting off of soda, here you go. This constitutes as water, and it has lemon and lime, so it's cutting fat. Yeah. But anyway, let me get back to it. Then it was the STD testing. Yeah, STD. He ended up with herpes. And so did she. And I got on the phone one day with my sister, and my sister was like, "Don't you know he has herpes? He has herpes." She was like, "Well, I might as well stay with him now because I have it too." Dummy. She was truly stupid. And she knew about me. She knew about me. That's why I'm calling her names, because she knew about me. But anyway, they had sex in my house. The times when I would call the hospitals looking for him, but he's laying up in the bed with her at her house. He would masturbate and leave it on the floor. Yeah. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was milk. But do you know that shit will eat through the shellac on your floor? Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that shit will eat through the finish on your floor. Do you know, it's like bird shit on your car. You know that shit is gonna eat through the paint of your car, so you gotta hurry up and wash that shit off. Sperm will do the same thing to your floor. I tell y'all about that too. He was angry that I wouldn't have sex with him anymore. So he would masturbate and he would leave it on the floor. When he took this TV and left because I wouldn't answer his questions. When he wanted me to accept what was going on, he had the nerve to ask me, well, all the other women in my life accepted me seeing other people. How come you can't? I said, excuse me? Come again? Because I never gave you the indication that I was one of those women that would take something like that from you. Why would you even think that? Anyway, he got drunk one night and he fell down some stairs coming out of a club. He was in a club in the Bronx. Sometimes, you gotta walk up a flight of stairs. If y'all hear music, please excuse that, because I really hope y'all don't hear it that well. This is some of the shit that I have to deal with from the super, and it's an ongoing battle, and I'm gonna still fight for my peace and quiet. But anyway, Um, he ended up in the hospital, and one of his friends called me in the middle of the night to come and get him from the hospital. So I told his friend, why don't you call that chick that he got in his phone? Call that bitch to come and get him. He was like, just please, just come and get him. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, one day me and a couple of females were at a couple of females that I was hanging out with went to City Island, and we saw this female, and when I tell you this, she looked horrible. She looked horrible. She was big. She was real big. But that's not why I'm saying that she looked horrible. She looked horrible because of what she had on. She had on this bandeau top, the bandeau tops, and her breasts were really big, and she was spilling out, and she had on these real short shorts, and when I tell you, all the fat was hanging out. She just looked nasty. She looked so nasty, and everybody was looking at her and was like, oh, I'm looking at, and I'm like, because when she walked, we were outside. We went to the outside area, and when she walked outside, I saw her first before the other two ladies that I was with, and I was like, oh my God. And they looked at her, they were like, oh Lord, why is she dressed like that? Just because you can fit it, ladies, doesn't mean that you should wear it. And when I tell you that everything was hanging out, her thighs, oh my God, like, I'm not, ratty wig and all, okay? So about 15 minutes later, who do I see coming through the door to come outside to sit down at her table? Y'all want to guess? It was stupid ass. Yes, it was my husband. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, what in the hell is going on here? But of course, I got up. I went over to the table because he had left me. He had stopped paying the rent a couple of months before he left the house to stay out of the house and didn't even tell me. So I ended up getting evicted from there. Yes. That's another story. But he did not tell me. He did not tell me that he stopped. Actually, it was 3 months that he stopped paying the rent. Yeah. So the proceedings were going on to evict me. And I didn't even know it. After everything that I did for him, he would do that to me just because I would not accept this female. Okay? So I got up. Let's go back to the story. So I got up and I went over to him. I said, are you going to pay the rent? I was quiet about it. I didn't make a scene. I said, you going to pay the rent? And she looking at me and I'm looking at her. I said, yes, this is my husband. This is my husband. Up until the day when he walked out with his TV because I wouldn't answer a question with him, he was asking me for ass. Yes. And he still calls me and asks me for ass. So I don't know, what kind of relationship the both of you have. But this is my husband. Yes, this is my husband, sweetheart. And don't say anything because just don't. So I asked him, when you going to give me the money for the rent? You going to pay the rent? You going to pay the rent? I stood there too. And there was no ignoring me. I was not going back to my table until he answered me or said something to me. So he got up, she got up, and they left. Then I caught him at a club. This is when we were living together. Caught him at a club with a female, all up on her, with his face to her face, trying to kiss her and all of this. We had stopped having sex at the time. He was still seeing the other chick. This wasn't even the other chick. This was somebody else. So I went over to him. I said, excuse me? Because I'm like, You're still asking me for sex. You still saying that you want to work it out with me, but you're here with this. I said, okay. I said, excuse me, what's going on? What's going on? What's wrong with you? And he just left. He left the club. He left. What was this? Oh, this is before we got married. Before we got married, we were dating, and we went out dancing, and this girl came up to him with her friend, and she was like, she looked me up and down, and she was like, oh, this is the guy I was telling you about. Yes, this is Quan. This is the guy I was telling you about. Yeah, this is him. And then she pulls him to her and kisses him. And I'm just standing there like, wow, okay, all right. I said, okay. Yeah. Then next time, we were married at this time. We were at a cookout. He begged me to go to this cookout with him. And you know anything about West Indies? See, he's from St. Croix, right? He's from St. Croix. But, you know, he hung out with all the West Indians and all the stuff like that, you know. Okay, fine. So, you know, West Indians, they cookouts in the nighttime, you know, the music going. They're charging you $5 to get into somebody's backyard, you know. You know, whoever knows, knows, you know, so, you know. I gotta stop saying that. And we walking through doors, you know, we get into the backyard area. And before you get into the backyard, you know, on the side of the house, this is a little walkway. And this young lady comes up to him. She was like, Quan. Oh, sorry, I said his name. But anyway, I'm not bleeping it out. She was like, who is this? And I'm like, oh, hell no. And she was like, this is your wife? And she was looking at me like, like I'm the best thing she ever saw. Because I guess all the females that he had didn't look as good as me, that he was messing around with, okay? She was like, that's your wife? Ah, you better behave. You better behave. You need to behave. You need to behave. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I want to go home. I want to go home. He was like, no. Just, I'm like, no, I want to go home. He was like, no, just stay here for a while. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh Lord. I'm like, no, I'm going to go catch a cab and I'm going home. He's like, no, just stay here. Look, I'm going to give you something to eat. I'm going to give you something to drink. Let's just stay. Let's just have a good time. Don't worry about it. And I'm like I said, I was not the person that I am today. Okay? Not the person I am today. But anyway, I'm going to, this is getting kind of long. It's already 23 minutes. Let me just read through this. And the next video I do, we're gonna, you know, hit on things. But anyway, I suggested therapy to him. The dream I had a dream. That dream, the lady in that dream showed me something, and it was true. Anyway, the pregnancy, yeah, she got pregnant. Oh yeah, and him hating her after the baby, me telling him to leave him alone, and his response was, I'll try. Yes, because I was trying to make the marriage work. This is before all the, like I said, this is not in order. You know, this is before all the ejaculating on me and all that other stuff. I was locked up in a mental institution for like 4 hours, and the only person that could come out to sign me out was him. I'll get into that. That's a long story. My low self-esteem, the reasons, how he always wanted to have sex with me, and I didn't want to, how I stopped it, you know, after I found out that he cheated, you know, was cheating in our marriage, and how the marriage almost took me out. When I said the marriage almost took me out, Oh my God, this marriage almost ended me, but I'm here. Um, about 2 years after we split up, um, he asked me to come back with him. Yeah, he asked me back. I thought about it, and I was like, hell no, hell no. Um, the divorce, how he um, blamed me for everything, of course, because that's what men do. Blame me for everything. I have text messages that he has, that he sent me, that I saved, that I gave to my divorce lawyer. This is this is yo, I spent 10 years on an air mattress. Do you hear me? After I got evicted from that apartment, I went to go live with my mother for a year. That was sheer hell. She was going through something that I didn't know. I didn't know the signs. She was going through dementia. I didn't know the signs. I just thought it was just her being her, because my mother was a tyrant. She wasn't a very nice person, and we'll get into that too. That's a whole other story. And I stayed with her for a year, and then I came here to live with my dad. Um, and I've been here for over 10 years. And for 10 years, I stayed on an air mattress. I developed depression, anxiety from that, PTSD. Um, you know, I can't work now because of the depression and the anxiety. We're going to talk about my jobs too. I worked retail. That's because I thought that I just couldn't get anything. But I tell you, I was a mess. From childhood, I was a mess. I was messed up. Mentally, I was messed up. Mentally and physically. And we're going to talk about all of that. But yeah, this is a checklist. I may have more things. But that's that's it. I'm gonna end this. This video now, and I hope you'll comment, like, subscribe. Let's get talking about this. We can talk about it through the comments. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. I just had a hell of a time with this man, and my relationships before this was horrible because I just wanted to get away from my mom. Ugh, the things that happened to me trying to get away from my mom. Don't ever try to get in another situation because of the situation that you're in. Don't. You have to come out of that situation in order to go into another situation, and that situation be successful. You have to leave the situation that you're in, because the next situation is better for you. Not to get away from the situation that you're already in, because it's going to be disastrous. I hope you caught that. I hope I didn't confuse you with that one. But we're going to talk about that too, the manifestations and the universe. That all of that has to do with the universe. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the universe that I now am in the state of mind that I'm in. The happiness that I feel every day. The blessings that I'm getting from the universe every day. I take one day at a time, because today is taken care of, and tomorrow is going to be taken care of. Today is going to be taken care of the things that needs to be taken care of today. I'm not going to get into all of that because I can talk about that all night. But anyway, I'm going to end this now. I'm at 29 minutes. I'm going to end this now. And like I said, comment, like, subscribe, so that you can know, turn on the notifications so that you'll know the next time I upload a video, because this is going to take me a while. It is. And I'm going to talk about every single thing on this list, front and back, in detail. Okay? In detail. And I'm going to label it. Each one, I'm going to label the video so you'll know what I'll be talking about at that time. Okay? So everybody have a great night. I hope this video finds you well. I hope that you're going well on your journeys. If you're not where you want to be in life, get that mindset. Everything else will fall into place. Trust me. Trust me. I'm going to let you in on this so bad, and I'm going to, but I have to get this. I have to get this out first. I have to. Stay with me. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, you know, with all, the all setting and the notifications so that you'll get all of my videos. And I'm going to bid you a good night. I'm going to bid you a cheers. And until next time, sayonara. Peace.